What's up everyone, Callis now. Welcome back to another video. Today we got my AEW Grand Slam reaction / review, whatever you would like to call it. It was a great show, very enjoyable show. Every match delivered. I thought it was a great show. And the crowd was amazing. AEW announcing they'll go back to Australia next year for another show. Hopefully we get another crowd like we did last night, because that crowd was great. And they just added to a great event, because in ring, AEW delivered as always. So let's get into the opening matchup. The Don Callis family versus Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. Surprisingly, Kyle Fletcher getting booed in his hometown, but he's in there with Ospreay and Omega, who, of course, crowd favourites everywhere they go. And Ospreay and Omega get the win in an amazing matchup. This matchup was great. The finish was unbelievable. Great tag team finishing move between Ospreay and Omega, where Kenny had Takeshita up for the one-wing angel. Ospreay does a dive out onto Fletcher, gets back in off the top rope, hidden blade into the one-winged angel. It was awesome, it was sick, and that gave Omega and Ospreay the win in a fantastic matchup. Great tag team matchup. A lot of back and forth, a lot of near falls between both teams. It was what you'd expect from all four men involved. Of course, Takeshita and Fletcher, the future. Ospreay and Omega being the past and the present for the last decade. They've dominated this industry. And yeah, awesome match, awesome way to kick off Grand Slam. Crowd were into it. And all four men did not disappoint. We then continued on with Mercedes Mone versus Harley Cameron in a fun matchup. Just like the feud, it was a lot of fun. Puppet Mercedes got involved. Mercedes got a bit of heat on the puppet. Harley brought in, did a 10-punch corner spot. She goes to use the puppet for the 10th one. Monet ducks under, grabs the puppet, beats it up on the mat and kicks it out. And then there's a great spot towards the end of the match where Harley's on the floor and you just see her and the puppet just pop up from behind the apron. It was a sick shot, it was great. And Mercedes Monet hit the Money Maker to get the 3 count and retain. Again, a fun matchup. Harley Cameron, breakout feud for her. Hopefully they can keep the momentum going with her even in defeat. And yeah, interested to see who steps up next for Mercedes Monet and that TBS championship. Then we get a backstage promo with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. That sets up matches for Revolution. Ospreay challenges Fletcher to a steel cage match, which will be an amazing matchup. Ospreay and Fletcher in a cage, their feud and the story has been great. I cannot wait for that cage match. And then Kenny Omega wants the International Championship matchup, and he will get that. But he may not face Takeshita, because AEW also announced the International Championship Series. It'll be Orange Cassidy versus Roderick Strong on Dynamite. The winner will then challenge Takeshita for the championship, and then the winner of Takeshita and either Orange and Strong will go on to Revolution to face Omega. Well, it probably will be Takeshita, because that's where the story is. But we should still get a couple of matches that are great to build up to Revolution. Then we get the Brisbane Brawl between the Death Riders, Moxley and Claudio. They actually got the win over Switchblade and Cope. A bit surprised. Before we get into the actual match, Cope's entrance with the crowd singing along was amazing. You could see how much it meant to Cope. The smile on his face he had. He was fired up. It was a fun brawl. They were brawling all over the arena. Cope dives off not like a balcony, but like a railing in the crowd. He dives off it onto Claudio, I believe it was. Marina Shafir getting involved. And yeah, the Death Riders get the win when John Moxley chokes out Cope. And that has me thinking, I said in my predictions, I thought Cope and Switchblade would win here, because I thought Moxley would retain at Revolution. Now that Moxley not only won, but he made Cope not submit, but pass out to choking him out with a bulldog choke. I'm kind of thinking maybe Cope does it at Revolution. I think that's a good thing, because I was thinking, yeah, Mox is probably going to retain over Cope. But now I'm thinking that door for Cope winning is actually open a bit now. And I'm actually kind of leaning towards it a bit more than I was yesterday. So on that purpose, this match, on its purpose, was a great match, entertaining matchup, but also creates a bit of intrigue for the Revolution match. And there's another factor that I'm thinking maybe Cope does win. And that is Christian Cage. And Christian Cage has that contract for an AEW Championship matchup. So imagine Cope wins, the Death Riders beat him up. Then out comes Christian to cash in on Cope. Like, oh, I'm starting to think that's the direction. Yeah, I'm starting to think that's the direction they're going with that one. But yeah, go back to the Brisbane Brawl. Very fun matchup, very enjoyable matchup. And yeah, very good between fun brawl. A lot of weapons involved, tables involved, brawling all around the place. Everything you would want from that style of matchup. And yeah, Mox gets the win. Okada then beats Buddy Matthews after a low blow into the Rainmaker to give the 3 count. A very good matchup again. I thought it was good to see Buddy get a big singles matchup like this in his own country against Okada. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I wasn't really expecting Buddy Matthews to win. Like, I don't think anyone was really expecting Buddy to win. It's just kind of hard to be invested, really, because we're like, okay, let's just hope we get a good matchup, but we kind of know Okada's going to win. Like, it's hard to get invested onto the near falls, but I thought they had a good match. I thought they had a good showing. And yeah, Okada, kind of, they do a little bit back and forth where Buddy gets pushed into the ref into the corner. Okada charges in. Buddy moves. Okada's now holding the ref, drags the ref back in the center, low blow, Rainmaker, and gets the 3. And yeah, retains that Continental Championship. And good showing for Buddy, and that's what I was hoping it would be. Good to see him in a big match like this against Okada. And I hope we see more of Buddy Matthews in singles matchups, as well as more of the Hounds of Hell, because I've been really liking him and Brody as a team. I feel like they could win the tag titles at some point this year. Like, imagine Buddy and Brody versus the Hurt Syndicate. That is something I would like to see in the future. So yeah, I still hope maybe we get Buddy into C2 later this year, like we did with Brody last year. And yeah, Okada retaining. We'll be interested to see who's next up in line for the Rainmaker. Now, also before I move on, I do want to talk about Okada's entrance. The lasers added to his entrance. If they made the entrance feel special, I won't mind if they kept that a part of his presentation. Video package then for our main event, Mariah May versus Toni Storm, narrated by Renee Paquette, and it was very good, telling the story of these two women. And once again, we get a great main event where AEW is once again timeless, because Timeless Toni Storm, in her home country, she's born in New Zealand, but she is from the Gold Coast. I think she grew up in Australia. She's born in New Zealand, grew up in Australia or something like that. But yeah, home country win for Toni, getting her win back on Mariah and capping off a wonderful story that 15 months in the making, long-term storytelling at its best. Going back from Mariah May's debut in AEW, aligning with Toni, winning the Own Cup, the turn, Wembley, all in. Toni coming back as a rookie to now winning once again the first ever 4-time AEW Women's Champion, Timeless Toni Storm. Great entrance as well, where Luther kind of introduces her, pointing at watch, indicating it's Toni time. Her normal music plays, transitioning into the Timeless Toni Storm music, and they come out and have a banger. And Toni Storm rolls up Mariah May for the victory. Some very good spots on this one. First one to come to mind was Mariah hitting Mayday on the floor. It looked like a nasty bump for Toni. But yeah, she did get the win here. She does regain and become 4-time AEW Women's Champion in a very good main event to cap off a great show. Crowd were into it. Great matchup. Every matchup delivered. Every matchup was good, solid matchup. Wouldn't say there's a bad match or anything I disliked on the card. And yeah, I feel like Toni was the obvious but right call to make winning this one. And sometimes doing the obvious and doing the right thing is the right thing to do, I should say. So yeah, Toni Storm regaining the Women's Championship, 4-time Women's Champion in the main event to get the moment in front of her home country fans in Australia. And yeah, overall, Grand Slam, great show. Grand Slam always been a television special, and it's always something I look forward to on the AEW calendar. Normally it's in Outer Rush. This year was in Australia, and it's still delivered. They'll be back next year. And yeah, hopefully again they get another good card, another good show, and we get another hot crowd. And yeah, there's not really else to add. That is it for this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you in the next one.